Check now the best anti-stress solution for your everyday life. Click the link in the description for your anti-stress solution.
Polish PM flown to Warsaw hospital after car crash. Polish Prime Minister Beata Szydło was hurt when her car struck a tree in a crash in southern Poland on Friday, and she was flown by helicopter to a Warsaw hospital as a row broke out over security surrounding top government figures. The PM's condition is good. PM will undergo additional routine checks in hospital in Warsaw, her spokesman Rafał Bochenek tweeted. She had her seatbelt fastened. She suffered mainly bruises and abrasions, he later told private broadcaster TVN24. Szydło, 53, was first taken to a hospital in her hometown of Oswiecim, where the incident happened. Television pictures then showed her being carried aboard a helicopter, lying completely still on a stretcher and wearing a neck brace, to be flown 170 miles, 275 kilometers, to the capital. Szydło took office in late 2015 as head of the right-wing Law and Justice Party government. The deputy director of the Oswiecim hospital said she was in pain but not in any danger, and had been consulted over the decision to fly her out. A police spokesman said her driver, who swerved off the road when another vehicle collided with him, had broken a leg and his pelvis. Police said it was definitely an accident, and a government source said nothing pointed to any kind of attack. However, the incident raised security concerns given that Defense Minister Antoni Macierewicz was involved in a similar accident last month and President Andrzej Duda had a minor car bump last year. Both escaped injury. This is a clue for a potential attacker that it is possible to ram the Prime Minister's car, former Prime Minister Leszek Miller told private TV Polsat News. The Interior Minister called an urgent meeting with the heads of the Government Protection Bureau, which is responsible for ministers' security. The Government Protection Bureau is expected to predict such situations, said Roman Polko, former head of Polish Special Forces. This was a very serious accident. I'm very much concerned that it is being played down. Julia Pietra of opposition party Civic Platform told broadcaster TVP Info, it's frightening to live in a country where, within 11 months, the president, prime minister and defense minister are involved in car accidents. A police spokesman in Oswiecim, best known as the site of the Nazi death camp of Auschwitz, said the accident happened on Friday evening when the prime minister was traveling in a convoy of cars overtaking a private Fiat Seicento. Suddenly the Seicento turned left, crashing into the prime minister's car, the spokesman told a televised news conference. Police were investigating under the supervision of a prosecutor. TV picture showed serious damage to the front of Szydło's Audi A8 vehicle. It was not clear what happened to the Brazilian state says reached deal to end police strike. Brazil's Espírito Santo state government on Friday said it has reached an agreement with associations representing police officers in the state to end a week-long police strike. State government officials said that according to the deal, police officers should return to work by 7 a.m. local time on Saturday. Skepticism over Trump's wall cost simmers among Democrats, border Republican Congressman Will Hurd, whose district spans 800 miles, 1,290 kilometers, of the Texas-Mexico border, on Friday criticized plans under consideration by the Trump administration to build walls and fences costing an estimated $21.6 billion to deter illegal immigration. Reuters on Thursday revealed details of an internal report by the Department of Homeland Security, DHS, that estimated the cost of covering the entire border. It called for the first phase of construction to begin in San Diego, California, El Paso, Texas and the Rio Grande Valley. Building a wall is the most expensive and least effective way to secure the border, Hurd, whose district includes El Paso, said in an email. He said his district includes rough terrain where it is impossible to build a physical wall. The estimated price tag in the report is much higher than a $12 billion figure cited by Republican President Donald Trump in his campaign and estimates as high as $15 billion from Republican House Speaker Paul Ryan and Republican Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. The border wall was one of Trump's main campaign promises. Trump, who took office on January 20, has vowed to make Mexico pay for it, but the United States' southern neighbor has repeatedly said it will not fund its construction. Many congressional Democrats reacted strongly to the news of plans for the wall and its estimated price. Senator Patrick Leahy of Vermont, the senior Democrat on the Senate Appropriations Committee, said in a telephone interview that he welcomed the debate in his committee over funding the wall. Instead of funding this costly and ineffective proxy for real action on immigration reform, we should be directing our resources toward finding cures for cancer, building schools for our children, feeding the hungry and rebuilding our bridges and our roads, Leahy said. 5 Democratic senators on Friday wrote a letter to Homeland Security Secretary John Kelly claiming that the money would be misspent. The letter was signed by Senators Kamala Harris of California, Martin Heinrich of New Mexico, Tom Udall of New Mexico, Brian Schatz of Hawaii and Elizabeth Warren of Massachusetts. Warren, a star of the political left, was silenced in the Republican-controlled Senate on Tuesday evening for speaking out against Trump's Attorney General nominee, Republican Senator Jeff Sessions. Sessions was confirmed on Wednesday. The senators wrote, "We are extraordinarily concerned that President Trump's executive order appears to require that you divert DHS funds meant for critical security priorities to instead fund the border wall." They asked that Kelly respond to a series of questions, including how much funding will be diverted to cover costs for building the wall. Hurd said he had seen estimates as high as $40 billion for the barrier's construction. Brazil's former richest man to stand trial on corruption charges. Brazil's one-time richest man Ike Batista will stand trial on corruption charges along with an ex-Rio de Janeiro governor who allegedly took millions in bribes from the former billionaire. Federal prosecutors on Friday leveled the charges against Batista, the former governor Sergio Cabral and 7 other people accused for helping facilitate the alleged graft, and hiding the money by creating offshore shell firms for Batista, 60, who 5 years ago had a net worth exceeding $30 billion and was considered one of the world's 10 richest people. Federal Judge Marcelo Bretas accepted the charges later on Friday, saying they were well backed by several documents. Batista has been jailed since January 30 when he voluntarily returned to Rio from New York after 4 days as a fugitive. In an emailed statement, prosecutors said the money was paid to ex-Rio de Janeiro Governor Sergio Cabral so that Batista's enterprises would win lucrative government contracts. Those included Batista being part of the consortium that ran the Maracana Stadium that hosted the 2014 World Cup final match and the opening and closing ceremonies of the Olympics, along with the construction of the $3.7 billion Port of Azul, since 2013 controlled by Pruma Logistica, which is 74% owned by Washington, D.C. Based Energy Partners. Prosecutors allege Batista paid Cabral $16.5 million in 2011, about 1/4 in cash and the rest in stocks in state-run oil company Petrobras, the mineral and beverage company Ambev, now known as AB InBev, a Bixxtal. Prosecutors also charged Cabral's wife, the lawyer Adriana Anselmo, for receiving 1 million reais, $320,821, from Batista for legal services they say were never offered. The judge also accepted the charges against her. Cabral and his wife are already facing a separate trial on graft charges before Brazil's crusading anti-corruption judge Sergio Moro, a trial set to open next month. In that case, Cabral is accused of leading a criminal organization that took 224 million reais in bribes from construction firms in exchange for infrastructure contracts from 2007 to 2014, when he was serving as governor. $1 equals.
If you like to receive more news on our YouTube channel, please click the subscribe button. If you like to receive an alert every time a new upload is made, hit the bell. Give us a like to the video or dislike if you agree or not to the news. Be proactive. Is your life and the news will serve your day. Finally, leave us your opinion in the comment section on what you think about the subject. Thank you and stay tuned to Breaking News 24.